Hey, I'm Chuck, and this is a response to a video that I saw of Jillian Michaels kind of bashing the keto diet. And I've been on it for about 15 months, and I feel kind of like a responsibility to share my results because looking at the video, it was really surprising to me. Jillian seems like a super talented personal trainer and maybe nutritionist, I don't know. But everything I've learned, and I've learned a lot in the past 15 months about the diet, and that in my experience is so contradictory to what she talked about in her video that it just looks like purposeful misinformation. And I think that that's super effective too, because for somebody that's just casually looking at, thinking about maybe trying this diet, they kind of catch a little blurb there and say, ooh, maybe there's dangers to it. Maybe I'm not even going to try that. And that little tiny decision turns into years that they decide not to go after this, which could be something that works for them. So my results have been in the past, the biggest thing is losing about 40 pounds over the past 15 months, and it's been effortless. In my 20s, well, let me back up for a second to say that I've always exercised pretty hard. In my 20s, I ran 6 or 7 marathons. I don't recall right this second. And just ran all the time. Love running. In my 30s, did a bunch of team relay races where the whole team would run 200 miles or so, and each person might run 15 to 20 something miles. I did about, I think, 11 or 12 of those. And probably from my mid-30s, I just started gaining a little bit of weight, even though I just consistently was working out very hard, running, playing basketball, doing yoga, 6 days a week, 7 days a week at times. The weight was just going on and on and on. And, I tried calorie counting and a number of different diets, and with a little bit of success from time to time. But, before this diet, I was up at about 220 and just overweight enough where I no longer felt like I could go out running. And, it was like too much stress on my body, so I didn't want to go for a long run. I still worked out. I would do more biking so I wouldn't have that stress. But, despite those workouts and trying to count calories and trying to eat healthy, but eating a lot of carbs, I did juicing and smoothies, but I was just eating tons of sugar. Waking up, drinking a big glass of orange juice, which I thought, wow, this is super healthy, fresh squeezed orange juice in the morning. But it's just pure sugar. And I didn't understand what that was doing to my body, what was happening with insulin and me just storing fat. So when I happened upon ketogenic diet, for me it started where I saw the documentary, The Magic Pill, and that made me start doing some more looking into it and convinced me to try it. But anyway, the benefits. The first thing, within days, my stomach just reduced. I didn't lose weight, but bloating just went down, and my stomach just flattened out. And I just felt nice. And then indigestion was gone. The past few years I've had, not all the time, but a lot of nighttime indigestion. And I'd have to be careful what I would eat and not eat too late. And for me, on keto, that has all but disappeared. I say all but disappeared in that The only time I've had any indigestion in the past 15 months is when I've either cheated and gone off diet, which I've only done a couple of times. It's a birthday party. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it, have a piece of cake, indigestion. Or if I've eaten an exceptional amount of food, which I've also done on diet and late, then maybe a little bit, but still never have I had indigestion to the level that I would have it before. So that's been awesome. The weight, of course, has been great to drop that weight. Another thing that I did not expect was, for me, after about maybe 10 days or so, I remember so clearly, I woke up in the morning and I just was like, what is going on with my hands? And I was feeling my hands like there's so much sensitivity. It's like swelling that I didn't know was there went down. And I'm like, my hands feel like young, like I can just feel stuff. And then I noticed, wait, when I wake up and put my feet on the ground, my feet feel good. They just feel nice and alive. And what was happening before that was I would wake up, put my feet on the ground, and the first time they would touch the ground, it would be kind of sore. And then I'd walk around, ooh, ouch. Getting old must suck. Wow, I'm getting old. In your 40s, wow, what's it going to be like when I'm 50, 60 and beyond? So I'd walk around, and after, go down the steps. My bedroom's on the second floor. After 10 minutes or something like that, it would kind of work its way out. But if I sat down for a while at my desk, if it was too long, I'd put my feet down and, ooh, it would hurt again. And I think it was just a chronic swelling. And this was years that this had been building. So that was amazing. And I found myself within a few weeks or so, just waking up and just wanting to go for a run, just waking up with energy and my body feeling good, where I'm like, I'm going running, just feeling it, like I'm like 10 years had been dialed back. So that's been awesome. My energy has just gone way up and also evened out. So on a carb-based diet, I'd wake up hungry immediately from my whole life, eat within like 15 minutes, a half an hour of waking up, I would eat breakfast. And then, okay, now I'm ready to go. And then, it's just cycling throughout the day, just constantly eating. And really I would go, basically at no point would I ever really be hungry. I would just crave food nonstop from dawn until whenever I went to bed, I'd be eating. So what happened with keto is, and I didn't know about this when I started and didn't expect it, as I was doing more research, I found the benefits of intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating, which are one and the same for the most part. And it just happened naturally where when you're, at least for me, being on keto, I'm just not as hungry. So I went through a little change where I woke up and I said, I'm going to push off eating for an hour. And it was easy. And then I went 2 hours and then more and settled in on a 12-hour cycle of not eating and eating. So I stop eating at midnight. I don't eat anything until noon the next day. And then that just has that 12-hour window where I'm actually not full of food. And I feel like it gives my system time to actually clear out. And that for me is like a minimum. Sometimes I won't eat anything until 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and I'm not hungry. I'm fine with that. And sometimes I'll stop eating earlier. Maybe I'll have dessert at 10 at night. Sometimes at 11:30, whatever. But that minimum 12-hour window has a whole another set of benefits that I've found. So that's the overall in that someone coming out and saying the stuff that I heard in that video was so absurd that I'm like, okay, this is someone who's never been on this diet who's never felt the effects of the diet and clearly has an agenda. There's been other response videos that I took a quick look at, and people are making accusations, but this is a good strategy really for her or anybody that wants to. There's a lot of food manufacturers and money and benefits for them to keep a lot of people on a carb-based diet. I don't expect the whole world to change, but if someone is looking at keto, I wouldn't trust that misinformation. By the way, I do like to study business stuff, and an interesting a strategy that was kind of like exposed of big tobacco at one point. I don't know how far back this goes. This might be like in the 30s or something. Anyway, they came up with the idea of all we need to do is introduce doubt. So just introduce doubt into the conversation, and now somebody's thinking about it. Well, now they can justify, maybe it's not that bad for me. So I feel like that's a big part of what's happening here is people that stand to make money off consumers that are not on a keto diet. They want to have some doubt in that consumer's mind. So, I don't know, I got to give up sugar. And I can understand it because I had heard about the benefits of cutting sugar down for years. I heard studies of cancer benefits in that you're more protected from a lot of forms of cancer when you cut down or eliminate sugar from your diet. This video is not about that. I'm going off on a tangent here. It's just really about my benefits, my experience really with the diet, which is, for me, amazing. I feel like I've just dialed the clock back 20 years, almost to the point where if there were long-term negative effects with the diet, I would look at if it's worth it or not. It's like, no, do I want to feel as shitty as I did a couple of years ago and live like that? Or do I want to feel this fantastic that I've felt being on the diet? And, if that were trimming years off my life at the end, it might actually be worth it, really. But, okay. Thanks for watching.